You've been sold a lie about wealth. It's a lie so big, so deeply embedded in our culture, you probably don't even see it. But it's the very reason you can have more money than ever and still feel like you're losing. I mean, think about it. This is the central paradox of modern life, isn't it? We are objectively, measurably richer than our grandparents' generation. We have technology and comforts they couldn't even dream of. So why do we feel this constant, buzzing anxiety? Why does it feel like we're just running on a treadmill that's speeding up? It's not just you. And the answer, well, it's not what you think. And look, let's be super clear. This isn't just a feeling. The data backs it up. Once you adjust for inflation, the median family in the US today has more than double the income of the same family back in 1955. We're talking bigger homes, safer cars, and literal supercomputers in our pockets. So part one of the mystery is confirmed. We are, by almost any measure, wealthier. But here's the kicker. For all that wealth, we are absolutely drowning in stress. Look at this. Over half of Americans felt a lot of stress yesterday. That's not a bad week. That's a normal Tuesday. And what's really crazy is how much higher that is than the rest of the world. So the paradox is real. More money, more stress. What on earth is going on? Okay, here's the secret. The reason this paradox exists has almost nothing to do with finance and everything to do with psychology. We've been taught to play money like it's a spreadsheet game, all logic, numbers, and optimization. But we live in the real world, which is a dopamine game, driven by fear, ego, and the need for control. We're using the wrong rulebook. And today, we're not just going to learn the real rules, we're going to learn how to finally win. So to untangle this whole mess, you first have to see the two different voices that are constantly at war inside your head whenever you have to make a choice about money. On one side, you have your spreadsheet brain. It's cold, it's logical. It tells you, take the higher paying job, accept the promotion, optimize every last dollar. And on paper, it's always right. The problem is, we don't live our lives on paper. We live them at the dinner table. And at the dinner table, that optimal job means you're stuck in traffic for 2 hours, you miss your kid's game, and your phone is buzzing with work emails while you're trying to have a real conversation. That's the messy, human reality the spreadsheet just can't compute. And that tug of war is everything. You know that knot of anxiety you get when you look at your retirement account, even if the numbers are pretty good? That's the friction. It's the gap between spreadsheet logic and dinner table reality. It's the feeling of being pulled in two directions at once, and it's exhausting. So how do we escape? How do we break free? Well, we have to ask a much more fundamental question. What is money even for? And the answer to that's the aha moment that changes the entire game. Psychologists have studied this for ages, and the data is just crystal clear. The number one thing that predicts human happiness isn't how much money you make. It's not your job title. It's not the size of your house. It's the simple feeling that you are in control of your own life. It's autonomy. The feeling that you are the one holding the pen, writing your own story. And that, right there, is the highest form of wealth. It's what we call the freedom dividend. This is the real return on your money. It's not an interest rate. It's the ability to wake up in the morning without an alarm clock because you don't have to rush to a job you hate. It's having enough of a cushion to be able to tell a horrible boss, I quit. It's the peace of mind that comes from having options. That is the real prize. It sounds so simple, right? Almost obvious. So why is it so damn hard? Why is it that as we've gotten richer as a society, we feel like we have less control over our own time? Well, it's because the modern economy has built a brilliant, almost invisible trap. A trap designed specifically to get you to trade your freedom away for shinier things. And I'll show you exactly how it works. All right, let's pull back the curtain on this trap. It's time to see the mechanism that's been quietly robbing us of our well-being. Here it is. This is the silent bargain we've all made without even realizing it. We took all that extra wealth we were creating, and we used it to buy bigger houses, nicer cars, more stuff. But those things weren't free. The price tag wasn't just in dollars. It was in our time. It meant longer hours, more stressful jobs to pay for it all, and the constant feeling of being on. We upgraded our lifestyle, but we accidentally downgraded our lives. And the very nature of work has made this trap so much more effective. Think about it. 50 years ago, a factory worker punched the clock and their work was done. The tools stayed at the factory, you could go home and actually be home. But for most of us today, the tool is our brain. The factory is our mind, and it never, ever closes. You take it on vacation, it pings you at 10 p.m. The line between work and life is just gone. So that's the trap. How in the world do we get out? Well, it doesn't come from a new budgeting app or some hot stock tip. It comes from a fundamental software update for your brain. It's about learning to be reasonable with your money instead of just rational.
Okay, mental shift number one. We have to change the way we keep score. The goal is not to hit a magic number in your retirement account. The goal is to maximize the number of days you can wake up and have complete control over your schedule. That's the new definition of wealth. It's not a number, it's a feeling. It's autonomy.
And mental shift number two is to completely reframe what savings actually is. It is not a sacrifice. It's you buying freedom from your future self. Every single dollar you put away is like a little token you can cash in later to escape a bad situation, a toxic job, a terrible manager, whatever. You're literally buying back your future time. This quote from Morgan Housel just nails it. This is the perfect example of being reasonable over being rational. See, the spreadsheet says paying off a mortgage with a super low interest rate early is a terrible financial move. You could make more in the market. But he wasn't solving for the spreadsheet. He was solving for a good night's sleep. He traded a tiny bit of potential financial return for an enormous amount of psychological peace of mind. And that is a winning trade every single time. And so here we are, full circle. The mystery is solved. The reason we're richer but more stressed is because while our income went way up, our control over our own time went way down. We made a trade. We got the cash, but we gave away the freedom. And because freedom is the real currency of happiness, we ended up feeling broke. We've been playing the wrong game this whole time. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Just one thing to think about this week. What is one decision you can make, not for the highest financial return, but for the highest freedom return? Maybe it's saying no to a project so you can be home for dinner. Maybe it's finally setting aside some cash, not for an investment, but for a walkaway fund. Whatever it is, start making trades that your future self will thank you for, because that's the only return that truly matters.